Sagamok's tri-annual Heart Conference took place March 14th at the Multi-Education Center. The Heart Conferences are open for the community to participate in. This year focused on lateral violence, self-esteem, drug and alcohol awareness, and suicide prevention. We had the opportunity to speak to two of the facilitators at this month's Heart Conference.
Let's start with a little introduction here, so we can say. Okay, so we're sitting here today with Shirley Gregorini. Today we're presently at the Heart Conference in Sagamok. It's March 14th. And I guess just for a quick introduction, maybe some people don't know what the Heart Conference is. Shirley, if you could provide a quick little breakdown of what is the Heart Conference?
Okay. The Heart Conference is a conference that's held twice a year in the summer and in March. It's an acronym for Holistic Emotional Awareness Response Training. So it's wanting to build a capacity of our youth, our adults, frontline workers with emotional awareness, different things with regard to suicide prevention, self-esteem. This one here where we've added in the lateral violence workshop, drug and alcohol awareness. So trying to build our youth, our community members in general, to move towards wellness, to have our community better equipped with individuals who can respond. Like, let's say somebody is having difficulties, or somebody may be struggling with suicide ideation, and they can recognize those signs and be able to talk to that individual and hopefully make a difference, as well as just building up their confidence as youth, with self-esteem, building, having them learn about where lateral violence stems from, our history, and why a lot of these negative things that are happening, like bullying and physical violence or emotional abuse, and where all these things come from. So, building that awareness in them that it may make a difference and make a change, and which obviously would trickle out into the community and make our community a better place to be, and have more positive individuals and attitudes in our community.
Very well spoken, Shirley. You know what I love interviewing you is because every time I ask you one question, you answer about 4 in one go. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's always going to be a follow-up to each conference. Is the next one already been planned?
The next one will be in the summer. The plans haven't started for that one as of yet, because we do have an individual coming into the community at that time. So we might be working our next conference, Heart Conference, with that individual coming into the community. So he might facilitate. We're not sure. So
okay.
We got to wait on that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
That individual is Lee Mason.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. So he'll be in the community in the summer. So we might tie the conference around his visit.
Very nice. All right. Thank you for speaking with me.
No, not a problem.
With Conrad Toulouse, we're at the Heart Conference, and I say Conrad probably has like one of the hardest tables to probably discuss on the matter, because he's talking about suicide prevention. And I just wanted to bring up, how important of an issue is this to bring out into the open in Sagamok?
It's very important. Sometime or another, everybody is affected by suicide, whether it's within their family, within their extended family, within the community. Suicide affects us all. We're all affected some way or another. So it's a very big problem.
And what are you hoping to, I guess, kind of gather from today's Heart Conference?
I'm trying to raise an awareness about some of the facts about suicide, some of the symptoms. The best prevention is education and awareness. So if somebody has those tools, they can deal with it rather than pushing it away. And the more awareness, the more we talk about it, the safer we'll feel about dealing with the situation. I know for some it's very hard, and it's a subject that nobody really likes to talk about. it's a hard subject, but you know, it needs to be brought to the table.
All right. Thank you, Conrad.
As Sagamok continues to build on its capacity to self-govern, the Git'a Kimnon Committee held a lands forum to initiate community discussion on the topic of lands management. Git'a Kimnon Chair Roger Jones opened the discussion with a statement on the goal of the day's forum and agenda.
It is. Any discussion we facilitate, any information we generate from this will be kept and maintained for record purposes, so that when, let's say 5 years from now, or 5 years from the date that the land code needs to be reviewed, all of that information will be available to remind people about why does the land code say this, let's say about environmental matters, and that people can be reminded that we put in environmental principles because of what people said, and that they're not to be easily dismissed as if in a five-year period things change to a point where people need to rethink environmental principles in one way or another. That we'll have a discussion about revisiting the principles based on knowing what the initial or the discussion was in developing those. So the note-taking is important. The recording of the views and the thoughts is important to not only reflect what people are saying today, but to know into the future what people said in the first place about these matters. So that's the format. So if there's any
With the maple syrup season on delay due to an extended winter, one would think attendees at this maple syrup workshop would be few. But Conrad's workshop appeared to have struck interest as community members filled the Inukgamuk Sunrise Room. Sagamok's own Dina Sinaway provided commentary on his family's sugarbush operation.
So in Sagamok, we're sort of in that transitional area where we're benefited by having maple trees, which are a very merchantable tree. Like, they're worth a lot of money. So when we're talking about maple syrup, we're talking and management, we're talking about organizing resources. Forestry, the way I look at it is it's a renewable resource, meaning that if you use it, i.e. cut it down, you can regrow it either by planting or managing it so that they come back naturally. So with maples, it's the type of tree that you know, it can create seeds, and if you create an opening in the bush, not too much because they need shade, the seeds will fall down and they'll find a way to get into the soil under the leaves and then start sprouting up. But they need the cover of other trees because they need a protection. If you open it up too wide, then you get other trees coming in like poplar. I've all been around to some of the cut areas here at Sagamok, and you see a lot of poplar shooting up first, and birch and pinchers and such. So if you don't manage your forest, that's with your risk. You're going to risk changing the type of structure that we've got.
Okay, right here. Following Dean was Brian Bainborough of Maple Ridge Farm, a maple sugaring equipment provider who presented on modernization of maple sugar productions to the attendees.
So, to me, your tubing cost isn't much different than traditional buckets.
Closing out the workshop, attendees were invited to see how to set up a maple tap using tubing and follow up at the Sinaway's residence, where Dean detailed how he and his family produce their maple syrup each year.
These two clamps come together, which I just snapped in. When it was together before, the one clamp wasn't tight enough, so I could never get it tight enough. I just opened it up and moved.
Move this one from there to...
Yeah. Actually, I think I moved it on this side here to get it to fit.
So when the season's over, you keep this line up, but you take these things down?
No, you can leave it all up.
This whole thing stays up?
Everything stays up.
Take the ones out of the tree and snap them back onto the little...
yeah, the little hooks that you did show.
Yeah, it just stays the way it is.
This is one of the areas where we do the tapping, and you can see, comparing again to where Conrad was, a lot of the trees here are very young. So our practice was that we tapped them when they were quite young. So now what we're doing is we're opting only to tap trees that are 10 inches in diameter, and try to work around the smaller ones, allowing the smaller ones to grow.
Speaking with two of the participants, it became obvious that not everyone was going to put away their buckets and taps just yet.
So we're talking with Art today right now. Tell me, how do you find the whole maple syrup seminar today?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a lot of stuff I didn't know about, like how to set up the lines now.
Are you going to give up on buckets, or are you going to consider
No,
lines?
I'm going to stick with the buckets.
Not persuasive enough?
Well, there's not enough bush anywhere for lines around here where I want to go anyways, but I don't know. The buckets are the go for me.
Okay.
I don't want to just do a lot, just enough for my house.
All right. And just one other quick question. How did you find out about the seminar today?
Oh, Conrad.
Conrad?
Yeah.
All right.
Facebook, I was on there, so I wanted to see him.
All right. Very cool. Thanks, Art. John?
Yeah.
How did you find today's seminar?
It was pretty informative. We've done this over the last few years, and we've been playing around with the buckets, and then I didn't mind trying out the tubing system.
And what's the, I guess, the big appeal of using the tubes instead?
They had left like maybe 20 minutes.
Less work. Awesome. Very nice. Thank you.
The Sagamok Youth Council held an update to their activities and missions following the Heart Conference on March 14th. During the meeting, the council unveiled their new logo and each member made a presentation.
You're not done yet.
Oh yeah! I did this all last night. Now I gotta mess up again. Young Warriors Youth Council members. Chief is me, Emily Southwind.
Oh, sorry.
Our Vice Chief is Deshayish Gaukagan. Secretary is Dante Abatong. And our 4 program coordinators are Georgia Lewis, Jessica McNichol-Manitowabi, Julian McNichol-Manitowabi, and Samantha Sharkey.
All right. Thank you, Emily.
Our Young Warriors Youth Council training, team building and capacity training, Friday, December 13th and Saturday, December 14th, facilitated by Earl Lambert. Facilitations and presentation skill training, Saturday, February 1st, 2014, facilitated by Earl Lambert.
So this is the training that we took since December to February 1st. So we're just trying to give you guys an update of what we've been actually doing. So this is from November 2nd to present to this day, our presentation, okay?
Young Warriors Youth Council monthly meetings. Young Warriors Youth Council have monthly meetings on the first Tuesday of each month from times 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Youth Drop-In Center. If any interested youth would like to attend and participate in planning activities, please feel free to attend. We are always looking for youth volunteers.
So we're trying to open it up where we can have youth come out to our meetings, just like Chief and Council open up for community to come out and see what's going on. So we're in the process of trying to recruit our youth to come out and say, you know what, this is what we want to participate in. This is what we would like to see that happens for our youth, for our programming and stuff. So we're opening the door for you guys to come in on the first Tuesday of each month and have dinner and, you know, be a part of the meeting. And you know what, because in order to service the community, we have to have the community involvement too. All right, so if you're a youth ages 12 years and up, feel free to come in on each first Tuesday of each month. All right, so it's always at the Youth Drop-In Center, so just always keep that in mind. All right. Oh, shoot.
Top 5 programs. On November 3rd, 2013, Sagamok Youth were approached with a question. What programs would you like to be offered? Each youth had the opportunity to voice their interest and were given the opportunity to pick the top 5 prioritized programs, which are the following: monthly youth dances, monthly cultural activities, guitar lessons, driver's education course, and paintball park. As a youth council, we have been very successful in the top 3 programs. In the next couple of months, we are going to be starting driver's education and the paintball recreation project. We are very proud that we have accomplished most of the programs for Saginaw Youth.
Awesome. Good job, Shay. Here's Julian. You're next, buddy.
Well, our monthly cultural programming is currently facilitated by Isaac Murdoch and myself. And for our first meeting, Thursday, December 19th, 2014 at the Youth Shopping Center, we had a drum teaching and naming ceremony and fish and dinner. There were 3 youth, 1 parent. And for Mogson making, we did this for the 2nd and 3rd, I would say cultural nights. And it took a while to do the Mogsons. We had 9 youth in the beginning and 1 parent, but then we had 3 youth second one.
Guitar lessons are in the process of recruitment and planning stages on a working schedule. Since then, we have put out posters within the community, and we have been getting good responses from ages 12 to 47 years of age. Guitar lessons will be offered for youth and adults. Benefits of guitar lessons is you can find your hidden talents, express yourself through music, and learn a new hobby. It's fun. There's 2 different age groups. Group 1 is ages 12 to 15. Group 2 is ages 16 and up. And the requirements for guitar lessons is you must fill out a registration form. Also, you have to bring your own guitar to lessons. And registration forms can be picked up and returned to the wellness department. And the deadline for registration forms is March 19th.
So I have registration right here. Thank you so much, Jessica. You did very well. This is Georgia.
Youth dances on Friday, February 13, 2013, Young Warriors Youth Council hosted their first youth dance, which consisted of a Christmas semi-formal, dinner and dance. Attendance 38 youth. The budget spent was
$1,550.
And the money we raised were $110.
So, okay, go to the next one. No.
On Friday, February 7, 2014, Young Warriors Youth Council held a Valentine's Day youth dance at the new community hall. Youth attendance was well attended. We had 43 youth.
The budget spent was $550. The money raised was $156. So, thank you, Georgia.
So our upcoming youth dances, like Mackenzie said, on Friday, March 21st, 2014 at the community hall. It's a semi-formal. Bring a friend and enter a door prize draw and have a chance to win Best Dressed Springwear. Admission is $2 per person, ages 12 and up. And community family dance is on Friday, April 25th at the Multi-Educational Center. Admission $2 per person, open to all ages, and we're looking forward to seeing your participation.
Not Dante, just kidding. This is Dante Gaviton.
Okay, out of our 5 prioritized programs, we have identified driver's education. Under the Youth Governments and Services section of the work plan, driver's education was identified for delivery within the community. The literacy and basic skills instructor located at WALC currently provides tutoring to individuals requesting assistance with the G1 practice test. This service is available in the evenings according to schedule. This service is open to everyone in the community. A minimum of 5 youth 16 to 24 years of age are required for delivery. A flat rate of $620 per person for after school hours. If you'd like to participate, if you'd like to be a participant, please feel free to leave your name and contact information for this upcoming program.
So I did actually have a flip chart paper for anyone that's over the ages of 16 that would like to. So the education department, because you know what, we didn't want to burden our kids right away with the big paintball project and driver's education and youth dances. So we said, you know what, let's focus on the 3 right now. And then when we wrap up new fiscal year, let's open it up with core groups, like who wants to attend. So the price is pretty costly. It's $620 per participant. And so anyways, like I've been working alongside with Roger Jones, and Roger said, you know what, this is what they want. We're going to find the funding for those kids to take driver's education, because you know what, licenses are important, right, for jobs, to learn how to drive. You're not going to be breaking the law driving around the res, right? That's what we don't want. But you know what, if you're really committed and you really want to take it, then you know what, please feel free to sign up on that form today. And that way, you know what, we have a better recruitment and how many people that we have to service. So it's up to you. So after our presentation, feel free to sign up. And
there's an incentive to, when you do your driver's ed, it decreases your...
Yeah, it decreases your G1s, right? You can go for your G2s. Is it within...
Less than a year, like this. Yeah.
Like 10 months, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Now this is the big one.
This is the big project.
Yeah. Paintball Park project was identified from youth of Sagamore Condition Object. The project will need assistance with as many youth that are interested in seeing this project develop. Paintball Park benefits youth employment for Sagamore Condition Object, physical activity, youth goal accomplishment, and community teamwork and pride. And plus, it also brings tourism into our community from outside of the community. What needs to be done? We need recruitment of interested and commitment of youth to Sagamore. Identify location of paintball park and fundraising. That's another big one. We need a lot of fundraising. Proposal writing for available funding. If you'd like to be a core group volunteer, please leave your contact information.
So we do have a sign-up sheet there. So when we did look into some of the paintball park, we have to identify a piece of land, we have to get a service, we have to look for insurance, we have to get money for equipment, we have to start, you know, business plan, like, but we just can't do just with me and 7 of us, you know what I mean? Like, so it was just like, kind of like, wow, like, you know what I mean? These kids have big dreams, like when they said what they wanted on that November 3rd day. And you know what, like, if they all have a vision that it's achievable, then you know what, it is going to be achievable. So we want to start off new fiscal year by saying, you know what, that is our goal. Our goal is to find proposal, to get that land identified, to get equipment, to look for the costs, you know what I mean, to have teamwork with amongst our children. And you know what, it's going to give employment for our youth, because that is a youth-owned project. All right, so if you think that you would want to be interested in help in any way with fundraising, or, you know, like just helping us move forward, because you know what, we're beginning and we're just starting off too. So you know what, whatever support that we can get, that would be like really great. All right, so if you want, you know, just sign up on the thing after we're done.
Much of the data they gleaned from Youth Council events provided sobering for the Youth Council members. Mackenzie Toulouse, however, embraced the shortcomings and encouraged the Youth Council to carry
certain strengths within the team, right? Because Julian holds a lot of cultural teachings too, because of the way he was brought up. So we thought maybe Julian would be suited to assist Isaac. So we thought, okay, well, let's go back to what was said. Let's do moccasin making. So we did have a full list. We did, you know, Isaac came out and facilitated, and we did this stuff. Then we did the second round and only had 1 person come out. and finish it. So it's kind of like a struggle right now in terms of, you know, we're doing these programs, but what is the underlying issues of why aren't they being attended, right? Because it's the youth that said they want these top 5 programs from December to the end of fiscal year, right? So now we're just having a little bit of a struggle in terms of the counts of the participation. So we thought that, you know what, let's just be honest and share the numbers that we're getting out there to see. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys have better suggestions that we can.
What about getting parental volunteers to assist with maybe it's transportation?
Yeah, like a transportation.
To ride or like volunteer to drop them off and give them a ride.
So it'd be like a parent youth volunteer group?
Yeah.
Yeah? Anybody else have anything?
Maybe some parents can turn off the Xbox once in a while.
You mean you want me to actually, what do you call that word?
Suspend him from Xbox?
Yeah. Or like, what are some other cultural programs that you'd be interested to come out and learn about? Ron? You gonna say something, Ron?
No.
Beating? Like a beating club? The what? Beating? So we had identified March 25th for our next one, and it was so interesting because so many people today were so interested to hear about the history of Fort Lacloche and the serpents and stuff. So me and Isaac decided, well, let's have like a storytelling at Fort Lacloche, because he has so much teachings on Fort Lacloche and the location. So I said, well, we just came up with our next one, which is the 25th, right? So, but now that we plan for the 25th, like what's going to happen on the April? What's going to happen in May? You know what I mean? This is where we need to, you know, have an opportunity right now to say, you know what? Chastity made a good suggestion that we can help, but what's another program that we can do? If anybody has any, well, like what other teachings from our culture would you like to learn about or participate in?
Use our technology, I'm ancient maybe. I'm not techie world or anything, but open up a Facebook page.
Yeah,
we did. Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, okay.
So we're just kind of stumped, right? Because, you know,
Can somebody add me?
Yeah. Can you add me to the group? Right? Keith?
As means to approve attendance at the Youth Council events, suggestions such as transportation from a pickup site to the event locale were made. Sagmuck News would like to ask the questions: what prevents you from attending community functions, forums, workshops, or activities? Is it where you are located, no ride, or no interest? If those are the case, what are you interested in and where should it take place? Leave a message in the comments section below. Until next time, Bomb on P meanwhile.